I try Hannah, and if I don't like it, I switch back to Hilary.
Yeah, of course, whatever you prefer. There are also other characters like Bap, Zenyatta. Those can also be okay in a poke compositions too. So it's
Okay,
up to you, whatever the character you wanna go. All right.
so that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I assume we want to start working on your break today, right?
Yeah, because yeah, yesterday there had been a few issues like dealing with Winston. It's like a game when I went against Winston, it was I know I get I know it's like you just have to boop her, boop him, and that's it. But like I think that was the I was doing it, but it wasn't enough. He just was catching him, even though I was touching my flare. I don't know how to say it in English. Like my shift spell when
Yeah.
I boop
Yeah.
him back, and like he just could go on me again. I don't know. You could see what I did wrong in these games because I played really bad. I know that I don't know because yeah, it's the character is really fun, but I don't really understand the way she should be played. Like I know she had to be played as a bodyguard for the um, for the other support like Hannah, but I don't know my positioning in general if I'm doing it well. That's the thing. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to position myself where it should be efficient, but I don't know if it's the most efficient way to be positioned.
Hmm.
So
Makes
yeah, that's
sense.
the thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm a bit lost because I'm always thinking about it, and then things happen that I don't see. Like when I try to go back a bit to my Ana, I see that the front line is being destroyed, and that's the thing. I don't know. We shall see, I guess.
That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, we can start with the basics. We can start with fundamentals and then see how the progress is gonna be afterwards. But yeah, it's
Okay.
all good. Okay. Do you have any codes we can start with?
Quotes?
Oh yeah, replay codes.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm
That's fine.
not used to that.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay, so I have to go to history, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Game
Profile.
report.
Yes.
Okay. Which one? Was it the Oasis one? And where can I see the? Yeah, because there are like a code, right? That I should give you, the share you to be able. How can I share you the
Yeah,
replay?
yeah. Once you click the code, just click the button at the bottom. It should say share, and you click on that. I can also show you on my screen how it looks like, just in case.
Oh, yeah, it should be more efficient.
Yeah, but you can see once
Ah,
you go on the history, you'll see the game reports. You will see whatever the you have available
okay.
there. Then you click on those, and there's gonna be share button.
Ah, okay, it's in the okay. I was in the game report
Yeah,
section. Okay, replay. Yeah, this one share. Okay, I have the color. Do I send you in
yeah. Just send it on Discord DM. That is good. That's good. Okay.
what?
Let's start there. All right. So this is the code. This one you played Brig. Well, let's just start with what do you think you need to work on as the Brig? Is there's anything what stands out to you at the
Oh,
moment?
it's like that's why I like playing Brig a lot because I don't have because yeah when I used to love to play Yellary in the beginning, but like it's like you play more than a DPS than a support. So I just focus too much on the fact that I deal a maximum of damage, and I don't have the vision in general. So yeah, playing Brig, I think my positioning is the most important thing. Like like I said, the use of my ultimates for the timing wise. Like, was it a good timing to use my ultimate now? I shouldn't use my ultimate now. and like you'll see there's a game, a moment like Winston went to our spawn, like I think it's the second game, and like he was bullying my widow, and so I went to rescue her and making go back, but like I was already with my team, and I was like, was that a better thing just to join my team because Winston, what he's doing is quite useless
Yeah.
from a point of view. So yeah, position. If I could if I could summarize it quickly, it's
Mhm.
positioning, the tempo of my ultimate, and I don't know. Do I give more or it should be enough for now? I guess.
No, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, I think it might be okay to even start with positioning what kind of threats you deal with and how. And especially the rest of the dive, I would say you're quite okay dealing versus them. So let's see. Let's see how we're gonna be doing here. And this is you, right? Rampart.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay. Perfect,
gaming.
perfect. Yeah, gaming. Okay. Let's take a look here. How the game is gonna be. By the way, how is the stream? Does it work just fine or
Oh no, yeah, it's
works
perfect.
good?
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, let's see and play a little bit. So first off, user rotation, start in the main here. That's when you start watching for the Winston. Okay. And then we're trying to disable him, yeah, try to boop him away, but at the end of the day, our team is dead here. Okay. I just maybe
I got
play
first.
out the second fight and see what we're doing there as well, and then we can talk about a few things. There's quite a lot we can start with and think about. Okay, so starting with slowly approaching this fight, that's fine. Shield bash, we can go aggressive maybe if you're able to just get a kill on somebody. But I see. All right. So what I want you to think about first off, and this is going to be really important about just with any support, I want you to come up with more proactive positions, and because you have those proactive positions, then you are able to put more pressure on the enemy in a way, and you also may
Hmm.
divert the enemy attention. So I will explain that to you. Let's start here. We started in this first fight, and you see you started to position over here, which maybe can be okay. Like I mentioned on the way, we can be this bodyguard to support the people. Yeah, we can support your Kiriko, we can support anybody on the field. But there's one thing I want you to come up with is try to come up with some sort of off-angle position, simply. And the off angles you will be choosing. Well, first of all, let's start with, are you familiar with what off angle means exactly?
Yeah, it's being it's like I would say it's a name because I'm sorry I can like a flank, a position of flanking.
Well, it's not exactly flanking, but it can be sometimes. Let's put it this way. Off angle is the position away from your core. So, for example, here, you see that most of your team is positioned this way, this sort of
Mhm.
line over here. And the way you think about the off angles is you choose the angle somewhere on the clock. Yeah, imagine the clock in a way. So this is gonna
Okay.
be 3 o'clock. This is gonna be 12, 6, and 9. Finally. Okay. What you need to think about is where you are on the clock, depending on where most of your team is. Usually, your team is gonna be somewhere in the main, like we see here. Yeah, they're in the middle of the clock over here. So what you
Hmm.
can come up with is let's try to think about the sides of the clock be somewhere maybe slightly to the left or slightly to the right. There's a flexibility. You can be quite flexible with where you can be, but you almost never want to be in the back line too much back because you high sustain support. So if you have this high sustain and you're also pretty short range support, you need to be closer to the enemy team in a way. Yeah, you need to take those close range off angles. So, for example, where you can be. I don't know. Maybe instead of being here, we can start on this wall. Maybe it can be position number 1. And this is a slight off angle, yeah, soft off angle. Let's call it this way, yeah. You're not too far away, but you're still on that off angle position. Maybe if you're here, that's also an off angle, and this can be quite okay. Yep. So the first direction to start with is always about the setup. Yeah, I'm just gonna write it down this way
Okay.
in our summary setup. And first of all, coming up with what I like to call on the brick, it's gonna be somewhat of a 90 off angle. It depends. Let's just say, because the rules, the game is dynamic. But generally speaking, you have opportunities to take 90 off angles, and let's say I'm at this position 1 or position number 2 while my team is attacking in this direction. Then this is going to be perpendicular angle like this. So this is a 90 off angle. Yeah, doesn't make sense, the 90 angle, the way I explain it, or...
No, 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 yeah, that's a great, but like the
Mhm.
90% is so yeah, it's quite relative, but it's from the center of the clock, like being at 9 or at 3.
Yes, exactly. Sort of. The
Okay.
greediness, obviously, it depends on where your team is a lot of the times. Also depends on the map. But let's say, even technically, let's say I'm at the position C, it's still 90 angle. But the problem is, if I'm on the point now, let's call it, I don't know, the position A or something. If I'm on the point
Mm-hmm.
now, that may be too far from the fight where the rest of your team is. Yeah, it will be really difficult
Okay.
for you to support the diva. It'll be difficult to support this, but you as support, you're thinking, where's the activities happening? So your off angle should be based on that as well. But you're always starting with the strong positions in a way. So let's say I
Okay.
I am at this position number 1 or number 2 is an example of our off angle. We still can be supporting this guy if somebody ever decides to jump on him, and we also able to support this guy over here. Yeah, maybe. I'm thinking
Okay.
that position number 1 may be slightly better because currently because the Winston is on the left side, so maybe this gives you better overview. You can try to boop him away, but first off, you start with taking 90 off angle and starting to figure out where's more short range oriented angle. So you can, because you're the position 1 or 2, you can get in the fight faster, just in case. Of course, sometimes it's not possible, but you also don't want to be too far away, like staying here,
Mm.
right? Does it make sense?
Yeah, but yeah, I understand, but yeah, as like I wanted to say it's just that the Winston, because I have been it's like my few games, like it was also Winston, and when I saw Winston I was a bit scared because we got also wrecked by a Winston like a few games ago. So when I saw him I was scared, and that's why I went the way back. But yeah, I don't know. I thought that Diva was a bit too far, but that's the point of the character, right? Being in the enemy team and
Yeah,
disrupting them.
exactly.
So
Mhm.
okay, so okay, so the points is to go to covers where to be as close as the fight is going on, but not being able to be caught, if I understood well,
Mhm.
while being enough angle, so being a bit like it's like the position 2. Why is it good to be in the position 2 that you mentioned? Like the one I understand, but the 2 I don't see the value in here.
Yeah, so there are multiple layers, right? So the way we're thinking about your positions, it's gonna be simply the first layers off angles, and off angles you can be anywhere. Yeah, you can start being flexible, right? It just us giving examples. Yeah, maybe you can be in position
Yeah,
1,
no, no,
position
sorry.
2, maybe this here. Yeah, no, but this is understandable. Yeah, maybe we can also be here. That's okay. But
Okay,
the
okay.
target priority, understanding of who is more active on the field, this can give you more of a vector, just more direction where you should be on the field. So ideally,
Okay,
as
yeah.
Brig, you need to try to do both. You need to enable something on your team, and you also need to disable something. And
Okay, I
ideally, you
see.
need to do both. With the disable, it's more of a how you use your whip shot. Yeah, the boop that you can boop the enemy away.
Mm-hmm.
Enabling, it's more about HP pack and well, it can also be just normal primary fire because you constantly build something. You build the inspire. This heals the allies
Mm-hmm.
around you. That's pretty strong. That's the way you can enable the activity. So in theory, you can do a little bit of both. You just need to decide. Angle one on angle two both can work because if we at the angle two, we can enable. Well, let's just start with who is more active on your team right now? Potentially. What do you see?
Um, Diva and Soldier.
And soldier, right? So if I keep playing with a soldier, first off, there's sort of direct protection. If someone jumps in on him, maybe I can just try to primary fire those guys. But I also, my first direction is probably going to be the diva. She's even more aggressive, so I can keep enabling her with HP packs. Yeah, and this is
Mm-hmm.
something what can start with. And if I'm at a position one, then you can disable this guy because he seems more aggressive, and you have to choose. You have to find a balance. Do I lean more towards the position one or two, depending on who is more aggressive right now? That's the hardest part about the support. You have to
Mm-hmm.
always decide and see who is gonna do more, and it can be based on the triggers. We'll talk about those later, but basic thing is
Okay.
you look at the activity, you say, okay, dangerous, active. Okay, I can be there. Dangerous, active, I should be there too. Where do I position based on that? Well, first off, definitely not the back line. It's definitely either here or here, and then you can kind of bounce between the positions depending on the situation. Yeah, maybe I can start here and pick the
Okay.
diva. I can start here, okay, and then I can boop this guy away once he goes in. Yeah, there's a flexibility. The game is not always gonna give you one most the answer. Like some pro players, they will tell you that is what you need to do, that is where you need to be, but the game is usually more flexible. The game is is always, you have different scenarios, to be honest. You just have
Mm-hmm.
to apply the principle, right, and it should be
Okay.
okay. Yeah, all right, anyway, let's keep watching. As we see, at the end of the day, your way to disable the activity is a lot of the time something to do with the whip shot. And also, if we would be, let's imagine for a second, we hold in this position, so we're not necessarily pull back instantly towards the Winston here. Maybe we, I don't know, maintain this position a little bit longer, then this makes it easy for you to also notice that who is more active on the field on your end. Well, let's just kind of see where your Kiriko went. Yeah, so your Kiriko, first of all, is over here, but she's getting dive. But the thing is, against the dive characters too, is because if we stuck with our second support a lot of the times, then they can dive both of you. And so in a way, this Kiriko, they also have no
Yeah.
escape room, and maybe you not sometimes in a way baiting the Winston to dive you, which ideally you should be doing. Let's say you position more aggressively, like we said, maybe more frontline positions, better off angles, then he may jump you, and you're the one who can live longer. You're the support with a high sustain. You have you all well, only one support in the game who has armor, and armor is pretty strong because you have this damage reduction, so this allows you to stay in
Okay.
the fight
Okay.
longer. But yeah, anyway, that's just something to start with. And then the second fight, yeah, let's just watch a little bit more, give us some more examples. Let's see here, for example, okay, we're starting here, maybe have to heal up our team a little bit. We're on the soft off angle in a way, you're not exactly playing the front line here, which may work, this can be okay. But then here comes the second thing. When you are taking off angles, when you are, or let's say going aggressive, just anything what you do, what I want you to think about is try to use your shield bash as your escape option. First of all, your
Okay.
shield bash melee, it's not dealing too much damage. Of course, it can be used like that if there's a really situation for that, if you don't need it as an escape, but because
not
you
on
have the
Winston.
yeah, because you have the shield bash, for example, here, when the Winston's diving in, and we're in a pretty aggressive position, you not necessarily have to commit the shield bash on him, or you rather use it to reposition somewhere. Let's say you want to make it harder for this Winston to exist. Okay, let's come up with the shield bash. Where could you shield bash to? So you're gonna be on off angle right now, while supporting all those guys. What do you would
Mm,
say? Where could he go?
on the right through the entrance.
Yeah, maybe your entrance. And this is pretty frontline position too. Yeah, maybe you can even literally stay here.
Oh
And
yeah, and
this
that.
can also be
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, there's a flexibility. You can come up with a lot of stuff. Maybe you can try to grab HP back first and then go here if you're missing some HP. But it's definitely not most of the time committing the shield bash to get a kill. Unless there's like really high chance of doing so. But yeah, you see, because we've done so, we also end up getting killed because now we're in the open, just with low HP right now. So most of the time you need to come up with more thinking about the shield bash as your escape ability. All right, I can
Okay,
show you a
okay.
few examples. All right, so we talked about the holding the off angles. We talked about how shield bash allows you to be more aggressive. So I have some good players example of implementing these concepts too. So let me just open up this video. Maybe this can be okay. Yeah, so for example here, this is one of the timestamps I saved. It's one of the rank to GM, so don't mind the rank. It's rank to GM here.
Mhm.
They're doing the entire, and I chose the exact plat timestamp because now we run this rank anyway, so it should be okay. But most
Okay.
of the time, the bass players, what they're looking for is exactly, well, let's just go back and start with something. They start on somewhat of off-angle position, typically, and we see that now the blue team, the most of the team is dying. Yeah, like if you press the tab and see here, okay, they need to stabilize and wait a little bit. So we don't rush to take off angles, go really deep, even though we will need to push this card at the end of the day. But we're just waiting for our team. But then later we can try to commit to an off angle. You see, we kind of stay in this most frontline position using cover. But first of all, wait for our team to do something, and then later we can think about pushing. Okay, so our team is around now, and if we keep the off-angle position if possible, of course, do a little bit of scouting sometimes, but see, here, this is your off-angle because most of my team is going to be on the main street over there. We can maybe try to go even deeper, take the interesting positions here, but see, all of it goes along with I'm supporting activity. Whoever is more active on my team, and I also can enable or well
Okay.
disable the enemy team as well. Well, and there are tools which allow you to be aggressive. It can be your ultimate, it can be your bash. Ultimate and the bash 100% more of your tools which allow you to do this sort of stuff, to take the off angles like this. Yeah, so we see, okay, they kind of go aggressive, do this ultimate here and keep pushing on the off angle, but then afterwards we can see, okay, this guy needs help, let's help him out, and maybe we can even go back to main if there's no other off angle we can take. But anyway, we're still searching. Ideally, should be searching for options to take those. For example, here, I see that they're going to be inside this right room while the rest of their team is going to be on the main. Yeah, and this way we divert the enemy attention, so they go to us, and because they go to us, then our team can live. Because you, the support of the high sustain, so that's fine if they go after you, and you exactly have the
Okay.
cooldowns to sustain you. Well, let's say here they almost get the shield bash. So if the enemy commits really hard, once we don't have our HP, we don't have our armor, then it's where you can decide to commit the shield bash to escape, more likely. But anyway, you see, okay, right now, oh, well, let's actually see when they use the shield bash. Yeah, like here. Yeah, they notice, oh, no armor. The enemy is really aggressive right now, so let me escape with the shield bash and play more defensive angle here. But still, slide off angle. That's most of the time the use of the shield bash. Sometimes there's more nuance though, like maybe there's gonna be, let's say Doomfist is gonna punch in or something, you can knock him down. Maybe there's Reinhardt, you can knock him down as well. A lot of this stuff, to be honest, but most of it is gonna be more defensive stuff to do
Because
something.
it's a good thing to cancel the charge of Doofus by shield bashing and
Well, it's yes
like
and no.
precision.
Yes and no, yes and no. Because the thing is, you have to do this if you're able to get a kill. So the thing is, why this is good now here? Because if you look at the Doomfist, he goes in and let's just go back. Yeah, like early here. Yeah. So he is in our space right now. And see where we are. Use a brick, you're behind the corner. So no enemies from this space, sort of, they cannot shoot you, but we can shoot the Doomfist heavily. So this is
Okay.
our friendly
Yeah, I
space in a
see.
way. Yeah, if this is your friendly space, you kind of more in a way to commit the bash like this. And this is gonna be fine.
Mhm.
That's why I don't mind. Let's say you started here, and remember when the Genji walked through the gates over here, and you shield bash him aggressively. Well, maybe this is gonna be okay-ish if he is entering your friendly space, but it's only good if you don't need the shield bash for escape later, which most of the time is the case. Stuff like that.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, understand.
Yeah, so shield bash as an escape. And maybe as a note. Yeah, note if there is a high chance to get a kill, then you commit the shield bash early. Well, this one depends, but you have to look. You have to look at your team. But
Mhm.
mostly, you're just kind of coming up with more proactive positions. Because you have shield bash, it gives you immense range. And by the way, don't forget, you can bounce off the structures even too. If you press spacebar before you hit anything, you go up a little bit. So this gives you immense momentum. The Brig players are really good at this stuff. I can show you too, but any curved structures, or like, for example, anything what's it's half a meter, if I'm not mistaken. Anything what's half a meter structure, you can go up based on it, jump off of it, pretty much too. So
Okay.
this can be quite useful. I can show you. Yeah, are you familiar with the stack actually? The jumping, gaining momentum, or
Like yeah, when I shield bash to position myself like going like right here, I usually jump before it, but I don't use it to climb. I would
yeah.
say just like right here, I didn't know that I could shield bash just to go and
Yeah, potentially you can. Yeah, it's something what you can experiment with. So of course, I will not tell you every possible spot. You kind of have to try to experiment and see. But most of it
Mhm.
is just half meter structures. You able to bounce off those or curved structures in a way. So curve is what I mean by that. Yeah, it's gonna be something like this in a way. So it's easier for you to go up. It's working the same way on the Doomfist. It's working the same way on Moira, all the characters with the physical movement, you kind of using the punch or
Mhm.
you using the shield bash, it pushes you up a little bit. Oh well, anyway, let's
Okay.
see. So we're starting here and see, like now, I would say, yeah, we just need to come up with something, yeah, where we can go. So this potentially also baits the enemy aggression. Well, I'm even thinking sometimes you can be the one who just sort of walks in the space. I know it's maybe dangerous sometimes, but find a way to walk in the space so it's going to be an off angle which supports your team. And then at the end of the day, you can also disable their aggression too. So, for example, here, what if we walk in and deal with Winston? And then if we're in danger, then it can always bash away to the back towards your team. So it's more on a proactive side of things. Yeah, always like we saw with
Okay.
the the players example here, how active they are with pushing, taking space. I know that most of the time you need the tank, but you can also be the one manipulating the space in a way, sort of tanking a little bit more too, because you have a lot of sustain as the brick, so this is not a bad idea for sure. But yeah. Anyway, let's see what we can do next. We are starting here. Yeah, sure, look. Can look to proc inspire whenever. Yeah, this one is also slightly on mechanical side of things, right? If he jumps in like that, you usually it's either you disrupt him mid-jump, so if he goes in, if you see him going in, then the whip shot can be done like right here. It's a little bit harder, but it's possible. Or if he's just diving your team like that, then wait for the bubble to break. Yeah, don't use the whip shot right away. Be
Yeah,
careful.
because I'm positioning myself like here because I know that Winston could go at it in any moment. But
Yeah.
like yeah, I didn't think the way that I could go and just boop him if he comes. I
Yeah,
don't know how to say it.
yeah,
Like I'm right here because I know that he's gonna dive sooner or later. But like I don't know how to deal when he dived, other than just shit bashing him and hope that
yeah,
he gets killed.
yeah,
So yeah,
exactly. Mhm.
the thing is that I should just try to wait here and fish for his jump and try to whip shot him while being in the air.
Yeah, this can be the case a lot of the times, but you
Okay,
have to
like right here, it could be. It was the case like right here.
yeah, but you can confirm if you have the sidelines. See, like here, you have to make it right now then, and this may be sometimes a little bit difficult aim-wise, well, mechanics-wise, but yes, you can do it here when he's in the air, or wait for the bubble to break and then push him away. Yeah, you don't shield bash here aggressively, I would say. You can just
Hmm.
keep using the mouse one. Shield bash, as we said, mostly for escape. Unless it's an easy kill
Okay.
opportunity. Yeah, stuff like that. That's it. So like, see here, just wait a little bit, wait. Okay, I primary fire, this guy is out of the bubble. My whip shot cannot be blocked, and then you use it here. And then you create a little bit of distance with him, your team. Yeah, you keep blasting him. You can also boop him in the corners a lot of the times where it's like really hard for him to escape. Let's say he gets around this corner here, or at least behind this here. It takes time to walk behind and
Hmm.
just walk back to his team. So this can also be quite good. You can think about
Okay.
trapping people in. But yeah, this is just pretty much you're looking at the activity. How do you
Yeah.
disable something?
Because it
Yeah.
was difficult because yeah, I wanted to use my witch up to also to proc inspire to be a bit proactive in a
Yep.
way. And also, like it's the thing that is difficult. It's like using my whip shot or to inspire or use it to defensively to counter Winston. Like generally speaking, what I should have done in this game is that I should have kept my whip shot when I knew that Winston was coming.
Yes, this can be the case. So, like as I said, if you cannot do that, then at least wait for the bubble to break. Exactly. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, let's keep watching. See, this is also the big idea of if you're holding any aggressive position, and if the enemy is going aggressive on you, you can come up with a plan of how to sustain yourself on the off angle too. And like we said, shield bash can be quite okay at doing so. You can reposition yourself, but at the same time, I also want you to think about how to use your ultimate. Your ultimate allows you to be more confident with staying on the angle. In a way, use it selfishly if the enemy is hard committing. You see here? Well, what you would say about now? Would that be possible to try to stabilize with your ultimate here versus the Winston? What do you would say? Would that be okay decision for you?
But like right here,
Yeah.
I would say no because there was a whole team behind. So even if I should bash him to try to escape and stun him, like I was too much off angle. Like I was mispositioned, obviously, from my point of view. I know I could have gone right. No, so yeah, I would say yeah I guess because I could have been able to flee to the right. It's flee the right to run away. Yeah. So yeah, I would have ult because it would have refreshed my shield bash and tried to escape to the right to join my diva in my venture.
Well, potentially, but aren't you guys fighting in the same space anyway? Well, regardless, let's say you by yourself behind the corner here, but look at the rest of your team. Were they able to fight? Are they able to fight this Winston potentially?
No, because he has ulted, so he's quite
No.
unkillable,
Well,
right?
if we're talking about the space where he is right now,
Oh.
what about your Diva? What about your Venture? Can they fight the Winston who is over here? Your Zenyatta?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So stabilizing here is not bad idea at all. You only have to confirm that you
Okay.
guys are fighting for the same space. That's it. So
It's it.
So in
Yeah, I'm
theory,
sorry.
yeah, it's just something to think about because your ultimate allows you to stay at the position where you are. Let's say this Winston keeps committing on you, and let's just call this. It's your space here. Why? Because most of your team is able to do stuff at position A, at position B. It's sort of your kill box over here, where if anybody walks in here, you can deal with them. And that's the big thing about disabling or enabling something. You always have to keep in mind what space you're fighting for. Yeah, what space you're committing for. If you would be, let's say, in the enemy spawn here, isolated, well, of course, this doesn't make sense to maybe come up with the ultimate now because the rest of your team is really far away. But if you're fighting for the same space, then it's gonna be fine. You just have to really confirm and see. Just use your ultimate.
Okay.
Well, there's another layer with you don't have time. You have to use the ultimate. There's no downside. You just use the
Yeah.
ultimate, and regardless of anything. But anyway, in theory, even though there's no percentage here, there's still a good idea once they start committing really hard towards your space. Does it make sense?
Yeah, yeah, it's just that I did like in this situation, like you say, when you don't have the armor, you have to back off. So yeah, but
Yes, but the
so
ultimate gives
if
you
it
armor.
wasn't, if you're like if it was like 50% in the enemy team, the control at the states, would it still be a good thing to ult right now? It's like no matter the situation, I should have ulted right now, or I don't know if you understand
Yeah,
what I
no,
want to
no, no,
say.
yeah, I understand. Yeah, let's break it down. So, in theory, we are just keep thinking about the off angles, the positions which would take, and all of that is done in relation to where your team is, right? And the second
Mhm.
layer, once you took the off angle, so let's say it's the same as we've been over here, over there. Once the enemy is diving you, they're doing something towards you, then you're using your resources to stabilize yourself on the off angle. You can use the shield bash, you can use the ultimate, but because you taken an off angle in relation to where your team is, then this makes it easy for them to punish the aggression. So right now, are we taking an off angle in relation to our team? The question number one.
Um, I'm sorry,
So in a
what?
way, yeah, I can rephrase it. So in a way, can your team support this space over here where you are?
Oh, like immediately or
Well, maybe at least in 1-2 seconds. Let's put it this
in one
way.
two second, yeah.
Yeah.
Diva can just go in.
Yeah.
I don't know if he can go soldier because he's midlife he could get, but he has his ult, so yeah, he can deal quite a lot of damage. But like, I'm sorry, the icon of the soldier enemy is that he's using his ulti right
Yeah.
now?
He's using ultimate, yeah.
Okay, so okay, that's why okay. But not everyone, yeah, just Diva can go in, I guess, because oh no, the Venture too. They can both go
Yep.
in the team. They have an angle right here.
Yes. Yes. Exactly. Exactly. So, what you would say?
Generally speaking, how they should would have played.
Yeah. Well, the answer to the ultimate would that be okay? Yes or no? To use it here.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Now for now, yeah, I understand. Yes, I should have ulted because I could have stabilized for stabilized and tempo until the adversary soldier doesn't have cooldown anymore and would have survived.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
everyone could go in.
Yeah. Exactly. You always can come up with an off angle, based on where most of your team is, and once the enemy makes a commitment, then you can start disabling them. So using your abilities, your resources are there to just help you out to stay in the off angles. That's it. And you
Okay.
see that it's in relation to where your team is. Again, if you would be here on 50% and using your ultimate, probably not good idea most of the time. There might be some exceptions, but most of the time, no. Anyway,
Okay.
this is something what we can be done here, and afterwards, well, you guys still have to take the space on the point 100% and do something there too, so that's a big deal too, but well, anyway, eventually we actually been able to get on a point which is really nice, and you guys capture the objective. I think your Diva has been able to touch, yeah, the other guy's the Reaper too, so that's nice. Now we're staying at this position here, and let's see how this fight is gonna go. Alright, so let's just start with our positioning. What do you would say? Where should you be? If we're talking about the off angle and
Okay.
based on where your team is as well, what you would say?
I would have been to the left of the diva, I guess. Like for my positioning, or like for my other. I'm sorry, how to say it.
It's all
You're
good.
trying to tell me where should I position
Yep.
to have a good off angle?
Yep.
Okay. So I don't know because yeah, I don't know. Can you make it the view from up? I would say
Yeah, of
because it's
course. Yeah,
better
yeah,
for
yeah,
me
of
to
course. Yeah,
visualize.
yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
Let's do it this way. Okay, this is gonna be the best.
Um, I don't know because we have to defend the points, so I have to be on the right. No, it's just a simple question. I will be a bit more on the left, like at the entrance, I guess, because there's Reaper and because I want to be able to protect Zenyatta. But I didn't know at the moment, but yeah, because we see the soldier and Wilson on the right, so I want to be able to be at a distance of shield bash. So I will be at the entrance, where I'll just run off in front of Genji. That's who I've
Yeah,
went
somewhere over here, right?
either there
Hmm.
or on the left of Diva,
Yeah, yeah. I would
like
say
this entrance.
not bad idea. And then afterwards, we can use the shield bash to move between the angles. You can use it to reposition. And most importantly, you have ultimate to sustain yourself on the angle. But see, all of that is done based on where your active teammates are. That's why we said that here, it's
Ah,
been
yeah,
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 of
it's
course.
been all good to use your ultimate here because your active teammates been here in Syria in that room. There was Zenyatta over here in that room, so
Okay.
we all do it in relation to the space where we're fighting, right? So it's definitely not bad idea. Well, now you guys are hard peeling for this, committing for this Winston, which may be okay, but I don't like it. Why? Because if you look at it now, you have two choices. Well, and well, let's say there's multiple choices you can do, but you have to always come up with what is more dangerous to you right now, or like in general right now, something what you can disable right now based on your position. So if you start here at this room, there's gonna be this, at least this space you're fighting for. Is this the more important angle you have to fight with at the moment? And is it the easiest one for you to fight with at the moment? Because you have the choice. You can fight those people here who will be aggressive. Maybe we can also know about the soldier existence and fight him too, but
Hmm.
I'm not sure we know that. So it's going to be a
No.
little bit complicated. Or you can fight the
Hmm.
Winston here at C. What I would say is more important. Who is gonna do more? Generally speaking, which angle here?
From what I've learned right now, I would have ulted to stabilize on point A, on the A.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah, so this is the part of it. You always have to come up with what angle is more dangerous. You deal with more dangerous angle and stay there. Try to protect it. Usually, there will be a few triggers. I want you to pay attention to. It's just if there are more people on the angle, maybe if there's somebody who is using something big, yeah, there's a big ability they have available. Maybe there's a lot of damage coming from the off angle. Generally speaking, more dangerous angle, you have to be there. And it's all has to be done based on where you are. You don't have to make a choice, start here, and then make a choice to go all the way here to chase this guy. Yes, this guy is scary, but it's only easy for you to deal with him if he would be playing closer to the point, which we don't. And well, we
Mhm.
shouldn't. We shouldn't play there. That's okay. We started playing here. Why? Because we started to enable Diva, and we started to enable the sweeper here, which is a good idea. But then afterwards, using your resources to disable these guys, because you see who kills you really. It's not the Winston, it's the follow-up. It's the soldier who comes in. It's the rest of the
Okay.
people who may come in, and they will get kills afterwards. You see that, Genji? He got a kill on you here, because this is a scary angle at the moment.
Okay.
Does it make sense?
And
Yeah.
yeah, it makes a sense at Korean. But it's like if we can go back to the point where we were,
Yeah.
if the Zen was on the point and he was diving the Zenyatta, would I have to stay? I don't know how to say it. Would I have to? Did I had? No, I'm
Yeah, do
sorry,
you have
my
to
English.
position with Zenyatta? Yeah, if your Zenyatta is on the
Yeah,
point, do you have to stay with
would
them?
have.
Yep.
I would have protected. It would have. Would it have been better to protect the Zenyatta or to do the same thing and ultimate and stabilize on the A?
Yeah, okay, let's break it down. You
I'm
can coach
sorry if
yourself
it's
here. No, this is good. Okay, let's imagine Zenyatta is on the point, or maybe on the high ground even, but yeah, let's imagine
yeah.
Zenyatta here. All right, but we also know that your Diva is over here, and we also know that your Reaper is over here. Our off angle we should take, it should be enabling activity, first of all, yeah? So if we on off angle, we as additional layer, the direction we should be taking is try to enable more active people on your team. So
Okay.
if Zenyatta is over here, and well, let's say we also don't know that the soldier exists and the Winston bin, I think they didn't dive right away, right? So they've been out of this fight. Let's just go back a little bit actually. Okay, so they've been out of the fight for a long period of time. That's fine. Yeah, so it sort of started here. Right? So you tell me, should you be playing with your Zenyatta on a point now, or should we keep playing here or anywhere else? What do you would say?
Now, yeah, I will just stay here because yeah. So I want to ask, it's better to enable your team than to disable the. Oh no. Okay. No. Okay, I see the layers. Okay, I understand. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I will have say, was it better to disable the Winston that was coming to the Zen, but by staying there, you also disable the rest of their team to not
Exactly.
push. Okay,
Exactly.
that's okay.
You just have to make this choice. Sometimes it's hard, right? You have to make the choice, but
Mm-hmm.
all of it is also based on who do I enable, and there's a balance. I enable the guys in my team. And meanwhile, while I do this, I disable something aggressive. That's a good example of what we've seen here, right? Why it's real nice if we looking to go in with this angle. Well, first off, we enable this Hawk who's going aggressive, but we also disable the enemy aggression. Who? There's a Widowmaker on the off angle here. Perfect. Let's disable this guy because we're just pushing him. Yeah, our Hog is pushing them. Well, perfect. Disable this guy over here. More aggressive. And a lot of the times it's going to be more natural in a way because you will be walking at those positions. You will be contesting the off angles. Those guys will come to you. They will have to deal with you because they think you're doing more right now, right? They punish you. And that's where you have your ultimate stabilize tool, and that's where you also have shield bash, a stabilized tool. So this is quite nice, yeah. And you see here, we walked on the off angle, we supported multiple guys. It's now Genji as well, and the Hog as well, and at the end of the day, we disabled the Doom first. So this is how it looks like most of the time. Yeah, and so this is the same
Yeah.
case with you here. You started with your Reaper, okay, that's good. Maybe we can also start with the Diva, but probably Reaper is not a bad idea. And then you enable this guy, and then afterwards you look into disable what's more aggressive. A deal with more, let's just say, dangerous angle. Okay, does it make sense?
Yeah. Like so the F angle right here. Because yeah, my Reaper is backing off, so I was
Mm-hmm.
well that should be just at the entrance or in or deeper in the next room.
Yeah, entrance, well, probably entrance fine. You just always have to judge based
Entrance.
on where the rest of your team is. Yeah, you sort
Okay,
of,
okay.
And we'll talk about that too a little bit more, but you sort of need to come up with the kill zone area where your teammates are able to fight comfortably. So your kill zone is moving towards here. You have Diva, you have Venture, able to fight for the space. We also have you here and Reaper. So all of you kind of set up this nice kill box over here. And you should be fighting in relation to it. So you start here, but probably kind of back off, at least sit here on this corner, and then once they enter, ideally the timing is once they start walking in this open space, it seems like, because we need your teammates to be able to see what's happening in this area. It's going to be Diva, it can be Reaper, it can be Zenyatta, so in theory they can support you, right? You cannot walk in here.
Yeah.
This is not the
Yeah.
good zone to fight for.
Okay.
Important.
Okay.
Yeah, important to keep in mind everything in relation to where your team is. Okay, anyway.
That's clear.
Okay, let's see how the next fight is gonna be. Yeah, so far, yeah, we covered a lot of series, so this is gonna be good. But yeah, if we also want to, like I mentioned in our initial intro, maybe with our next sessions, we can also do some live games afterwards. But yeah, I'm thinking the war reviews here right now for the first sessions are fine. If you're okay with that, yeah. Do you want to keep watching this game? And
No, it's interesting. It's if you think that's the best right now, we
yeah,
can keep
usually
going
yeah.
on.
First session, yeah. Why not? I would say that's gonna be okay. Yep.
Okay.
Let's
So
take a
we
look
can keep
here.
like
So
this.
we can come up with more interesting off-angle position while supporting the active guys. Well, what do you think? Where should he
Uh,
be?
um. So where is the Venture? Venture is in the top,
She
or
is trying to go there. Yeah, she's trying to go there.
she's trying?
Yeah,
Okay.
well, she actually did. Yeah,
So
she actually went there early. Yeah,
she
yeah,
must
right there.
do. Okay. No. I will still have your finger is weird right here. I would have gone to like the other side of the stairway if it's. I wouldn't have joined the. I don't know. In fact, I don't know
A little bit hard
because
here. Yeah, maybe.
we can go at the bottom, like we are kind of screwed if we get caught, like on the green the grass area on the bottom.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
You're
bad
talking about
now.
like here-ish or here-ish?
Here, no, no, on the top no because we are in the open.
Yeah.
But the one on hay, it's a bit weird. Like
Yeah, it's still open.
so, I prefer the hay one, but it's still weird. And being with Reaper and Diva isn't enough angle, so
Yeah, sometimes it's tricky, right? Sometimes you have to be thinking in creative ways. Sometimes there will be times when you have to start on the main too, to be honest. So if this is the case, maybe you can, for example, go here, but then at the end of the day, why you're here is because it makes it easy for you to enable activity. That's one of the layers, right? So we have the Venture over here. She's active. And we also have those guys here. They are active. Well, your off angle is not necessarily always going to be too far away from your core, right? It can be you sort of peaking slightly different. Let's say my core is peaking left side. If I'm peaking right side, this is going to be still an off angle potentially. If you fight for the
okay,
same space over here. So maybe it can be okay to start here. Because I don't know, if you sit here, well, maybe at least like if you're this doorway, this is slightly better in my opinion because you have access to this and this. But being more further forward is not bad idea at all too. But then afterwards, just look for the options where you can go. Just sort of direction, right? You're trying to come up with off angles, so later on it's easy for you to support the space. Because see now what's happening is those guys push aggressively to this space, but because we too far sitting without Wu Yang, then we're not able to do much towards any of those guys.
okay,
And well, it can be done this way, or maybe you can start repositioning and go here because suddenly your off angles change there. You're able to see the switcher, you're
mm,
able to see those guys. So, well, that's okay.
okay,
But it's definitely being more forward. You need to be more forward somehow. Yeah, of course the Winston will jump in a lot of the times, which is fine.
Yeah,
But
because we okay.
you also have Wu Yang who has mobility, so no worries. You have that, and also you have the vision on the Winston. Let's say he dives in, it's slightly easier for you to see what's coming. So you guys now, you see, like now this Winston is keeping you guys busy. So now two of the supports cannot do anything here. So your Diva lose a lot of HP, your Reaper lose a lot of HP, and even though those guys get better trades, at the end of the day they got a kill. Still, there's a really high chance something bad is gonna happen, which is Diva losing the mech here. Doesn't make sense
So
right now?
against
Yeah.
yeah. So being against um uh, 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 being against the diver tank, it's better to be far off my other support. So I don't bait him to go to divers because if I was if was like far from Wu Yang,
Yeah.
would he still have going in or did I bait him to make that? Like I don't know.
I
I don't
mean,
know
it
if
depends. It depends. Yeah, I'm
it
thinking
depends on the
you
person.
you you partially can. Well, you partially can. Well, you're talking about baiting divers, right? Or you're talking about baiting what? Can you
No,
get a little bit?
I'm trying to understand my
Yeah.
error because yeah, I wasn't following my team,
Mhm.
but it's also an error because I was also. Oh yeah, I'm trying to understand if being next to my support is a bad thing against a
Oh,
diver tank
okay, okay. Yeah, I got it.
because it baits him. It's no, it makes him want to go even more in the back line.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, yeah, I got it. Yeah, mainly you don't have to. Mainly you don't have to be near your support in a way. Well, this depends on a lot of factors too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
let's say this again. The easiest way to look at it is you need to have sightlines in your support, but you don't need to be with your support. Right? And that's why you will have
Okay.
more flexibility. If I keep enabling my activity while having sightlines on my support, let's say I started here or eventually I'm over there, and I see this guy, that's fine. You don't have to be too close. To give you more precise answer as well, you need to be at least be able to whip shot in the same area, right? So if I started here in the front, and my Wu Yang is here, I don't care. That's okay for me to be here because I can whip shot anybody who jumps on Wu Yang. That's what matters. You cannot physically protect this guy from the Winston with your shield, right? So there's no
Mhm.
point. There's no point to
There's no
stay with
point
him.
saying
Yeah.
okay, okay, yeah, I see. I understand. Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay.
But eventually maybe you can be committing doing the primary fire, sure, but it always should be starting with how do I enable my own stuff? Yeah, enable my own teammates. That's how I would say it. And it should be
Okay, yeah,
alright.
no, no, I understand now.
Yeah, yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, yeah. No, it's all good because there are a lot of nuances like that. But to kind of look at it in a more simple way, first of all, is really important. But then you also will know exceptions. You'll know, okay, maybe there's going to be other layers influencing your decisions. It's fine. It's fine, really.
No, because you said it well. Like in my mind, like the way I should have played or I was playing it
Yep.
is that I have to protect Wu Yang from being dived by the Winston. But you said it, I can support him, but I can't protect him from. I can't really protect him from the Winston. So
Yes.
yeah, I have to be able to react and help him if he's in struggle, but I can't really defend it if the Winston decides to go in. So it's better to be more far away and helping my teammates rather than being just staying close to him and being useless.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
that's how
Exactly.
it evolved in my mind. I'm sorry. I'm
Yeah.
just
Yeah. No, but this
explaining
is good.
the reasoning I had.
Yeah, this is good because there's also another more like bigger picture sort of things. You always need to come up with a plan of how to win the fight first. Come up with what your own win condition is, how to enable it as the first priority, and only after think about disabling the enemy team. Because if you only fixated on thinking what they will do, then, well, first of all, they might not end up doing that, so your win condition is screwed. If you play for their dive and you think, okay, let's play heavily and deny it, yeah, let's all guys stay together, okay, but then what happens is they do something different, and then, well, the plan is, because it's been too reactionary, it's been sort of, let's try to counter them, this might not work, but the plan which always works is you're trying to come up with your own win condition, enable that first. Yeah, in your case, it would be the Venture was aggressive, the Diva was more aggressive, right? You help more aggressive positions, let's put it this way. And aggressive positions, what do we mean by those is, first of all, people taking off angles, and afterwards, if there are no off angles, then you enable frontline a little bit more. Yeah, you just start seeing who is in front, and you start putting the attention there a little bit more, and this makes your decisions easier. And afterwards, you're thinking about disabling the enemy activity. So technically, like we said, the first fight, if I'm over here, maybe later I'm over there, I'm still able to partially influence this Winston and maybe poop him out as well, yeah? So that's fine. But first of all, you came out with your own win condition. You see, at the end of the day, that's why you guys lost the fight, because this guy and this guy didn't receive your support at the start. This guy did, but those
Yeah.
guys didn't. So that's the consequences.
Okay. Yeah, I'm understanding more now the way to play. Because, so if I understand well,
Mhm.
my role is to enable my team so they can even more disable the enemy team. Like you say,
Yes, yes.
the way to think of it, yeah, it's like so yeah, I'm trying to explain so if I understand correctly, and then
Of course.
I can think correctly when I'm trying to fight. So when there's the fight or things happening, I have to look for the proactive person and just follow them.
Exactly.
In
Yeah, well,
I
follow,
I have
not necessarily physically, but at least the sightlines
yeah,
wise.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah,
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 being present, like so
exactly.
like because what I struggle with is that yeah, there are lots when I play divers, tank divers, and like I struggle about the way to support them because yeah, I don't know how to be present while not being getting caught. And like it's a thing that happens a lot when I play with like a Doomfist because he can escape whenever he wants. But but it's like you said, it's about taking the right of angle. So yeah, that's something I
Yeah,
try to work on.
that's one layer of
And
it. Yeah, your off angles can be taken by you, so you establish your own pressure, and at the same time, you make it easy for your team to do something too. You have to watch the activity, who does more, and this can educate your off angle, which one you take. So,
okay,
if I know there are people taking those more aggressive positions, this makes it easier for you to stay there instead of being back with your support too much, right? You're always trying to come up with something interesting. Yeah, that's actually just if we watch any other example of, let's enable the activity. No, well, let's maybe keep watching the and see what we can come up with the next fights. Well, anyway, your diva dies here. That's fine. We have to reset afterwards. You guys just need to take the time and get back in the fight. Sometimes it's a little bit unfortunate. The games might be snowball, especially if the first round is lost. Team maybe get more tilted. That's fine. That happens.
mm,
Now, it's just taking the time to reset. You guys, it's really unfortunate because now the enemy team have all their ultimates in the game, so you're more likely to lose the next fight to them. But once you will go through the next fight, you have opportunity to turn this around, probably. Let's see. How is that gonna go, though? So we're starting
mm.
here. Widow gets a pick, which is real nice. That's a nice opening for us. Okay, the Winston's down, but see, this is what I mean. You go
That's the
into
situation I was talking about.
yeah, you go to this guy, but where's your win conditions right now? Where are your
Yeah.
active guys right now?
Okay.
Yeah, see,
Yeah, they're on the front.
yeah, they're in the front.
Okay.
Help this guy and the divers over here. Yes, they're both divers, but this is not as relevant based on where you are. Deal with the Genji here. deal with the cat, maybe. I don't know, but you
Mm.
now making all the way here, push, and now you're not able to help this Wu Yang,
Yeah,
you're not
true.
able to help this
Okay.
Diva, you're not able to help the Venture, so afterwards it
And the
becomes more
and the
complicated.
widow can be killed, so it was useless
Yeah,
to.
she can't do anything. I mean, she is not gonna die, yeah, exactly, because she's in the spawn. She's safe. Well, and now we just kind
We
of
were
disabled ourselves from the game, from
It's
playing.
like I saw the earlier the Winston trying to flank when I pinged him, so I channeled right into him. I don't know. I don't like Winston, so
Yeah,
when I see one, I just trying. I don't know. Yeah, I channel him and I don't see what's happening on the bigger picture.
that's okay. That's okay. That's why we're here to work on everything. Yeah, but this is there's a lot of good stuff. There's a lot of good we can take out of it and learn and see. But yeah, I'm thinking let's summarize first of all what we went over, and then we can talk about what we can do later in with our next sessions
Okay.
probably. But yeah, what do you would say? What do we got out of today?
Um, First of all, taking off angles,
Mm-hmm.
so the positioning in general. Um, so how will I summarize it? Um. So yeah, taking off angles to be able to support the team while you're applying pressure to the enemy team. So enabling my team and the priori sorry, I'm struggling with the word.
Prioritize.
Prioritize.
Yeah,
Thank you. Prioritize the the proactive players on my team to be able to enable them rather than being in the back and being useless, like it happens a lot in this game
that's fine.
finally. And also, and also the use on my ultimates to be able to stabilize the team.
Most importantly, you as well on that off angle once you take one. It's I would
Mhm.
honestly think about it as sort of your first idea. Yeah, not even your team, but just me. You can stabilize yourself because you will bait a lot of the attention, like you did. There was a time when this happened when the Vincent dove you.
Okay.
So
Yeah, yeah. Also because I don't like to ult also against Winston because it's useless to ult against him. Oh yeah, but he ulted. But like the fact that he ulted, I don't take. I still take a damage even if I shield. No. I'm sorry. I'm talking about way back about the situation
yeah,
when I
yeah,
was
yeah, you take damage if he's up to you. You just more using the ultimate to gain more HP so you can keep swinging. That's it. But you
Okay,
know,
okay.
it's depends on who is diving you. But yeah, first of all, you
But
lose the
yeah,
HP, you lost the armor. Okay, maybe it's good for you to think about the ultimate because you still want to keep holding
okay.
the position where you are. That's how I would look at it.
So yeah, about so to summarize it, it's what I remember is that I have to take a girl off angles next to my next like we said, just being present with my proactive the proactive players on my team to be able to enable them and also disable the enemies that try to mess with them, I would say.
Yeah, it's kind of you're looking at who has more aggressive position on your team at least to start there, and this educates you who you can support. Yeah, prioritize off angles first. If there are no people taking off angles, then at least you're prioritizing anybody who is at the front line a little bit more. Like we watched at the start, the Diva has been frontlining right at our first fight. So that is something what I'm more likely to enable first, right? And then afterwards, when I'm enabling anybody like here with more frontline, let's see, just gonna probably start right here. Yeah. Then I can also disable later aggressive angles on the enemy team. Stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Does it make sense?
Yeah, no, it's clear.
Okay. Perfect. Perfect.
It's just that how to practice it. I don't know. It's either a way to practice it like efficiently or
Yeah, of course. I would say that first of all, you start with positioning, probably. Maybe it might be, in my opinion, better to still look at your team. Just look at, okay, see where they are, and then try to come up with position where you can support the activity, right? Target priority first, but then once you know who to prioritize, you're trying to also come up with good off angle position. Yeah, you're always trying to look, okay, maybe this is where I need to be. Usually, like we said, 90 off angle works just fine. It's gonna be somewhere 45 to 90 degrees, sort of. Try to experiment and see. And you also need to work on everything one step at a time. Just choose one idea, go in the game and work on that. Don't try to work on everything at once. Just try to come up with maybe, okay, first layers, let's enable activity. Okay, this game I will enable activity. Let's look at the diva. Let's look at maybe your venture, because you're trying to also come up with who is going to be more active, more likely. Before the game starts, you look at their comp, I mean your comp, and you come up with the positions, what could be easier for you to make it easy for you to enable everyone. So this can be your first exercise. And then the second one is, okay, let me try to pay attention to the enemy aggression a little bit more. Yeah, where I can be while on off angle, so I disabled them. Yeah, I don't know, maybe let's say I'm over here, over there, and makes it a little bit easy for me to book the Winston away once he jumps in, right? So let's say you see this and you whip shot him. Yeah, it's so annoying for him to deal with you
mm,
this way, right? Still, that is done because you've been paying attention to whoever is more aggressive with their positions, but you're less reactionary and passively playing. You're more proactively playing in a way. This
okay.
way is always going to be easier. Does it make sense?
Yeah, it's clear. It's
Yeah.
clear, it's clear. So yeah, it's one step at a time, trying to find. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's of course there's no secret technique to be instantly be better, but like yeah, it's like I I practice until I'm confident about the way how I play to be able to enable the activities on my team,
Hmm.
and then when I look comfortable with it, I go to how to disable the enemy team.
Sort of. Yeah. I would
Okay.
say, yeah, this is a good start. I should suggest to try to maybe focus on one concept per game. Let's say one game you focus on one idea, then another game you can focus on another idea, and you can keep rotating the concepts. So let's say the XYZ concepts you need to work on. It works this way: X in one game, Y in another, Z in another, and then you can go back to X again. So you remember this. Yeah, so you remember X,
Okay.
and this will be easier for you to get everything in your long-term memory in a way. That's how I
Okay. Yeah.
would explain it. Yeah, this is one of the best ways. Anyway, if there are gonna be any difficulties with practice, we'll address that. That's fine. We can go with that with you. Feel free to send me any questions on Discord. By the way, take advantage of, you can send me timestamp with any specific question you'd like me to answer. The students who take advantage of that, they progress faster. So yeah, feel free to do that as well. And yeah, any general questions too. That's why I'm here to help you out. Just send those to me on Discord. Should be
Okay.
fine.